is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A Windsor man was sentenced to prison this afternoon. We will have that in just a moment. But first, Ontario and Michigan lawmakers met up in Windsor today, discussing their longtime economic partnership and the current pressures imposed by the ongoing trade war. With more on their priorities, here's Travis Fortnum.
Canada and the United States coming together Wednesday, even as the relationship between the two countries remains somewhat stressed.
I will tell you that Michigan needs Ontario and Ontario needs Michigan. We're like I said, we're very closely tied together. There's a reason that we needed a second bridge.
Michigan Democratic State Rep Mike McFall crossed the brand new Gordie Howe International Bridge to meet with Ontario Liberal MPPs and union representatives in Windsor. The closed-door meeting at Unifor Local 444, also including fellow Michigan lawmaker Amos O'Neill, held as an old alliance faces new strain.
While yes, it has been strained on the national level, I think locally we are still the connection's still very strong.
Ajax MPP Rob Serjanik, the Ontario Liberals economic development and innovation critic, says that local connection matters when the national conversation can change by the day.
I think we have to understand that we need to have conversations at all levels, whether it's privately, whether it's publicly as well, because at the end of the day, both of our economies are very intertwined.
The conversation focusing on trade, tariffs, Great Lakes management, and economic development, and what each could mean for workers, businesses, and communities on both sides of the border.
Frank and honest conversations about what's happening and really how important it is that we continue to trade freely and openly with the United States.
No policy was set and no tariffs were toppled, but with a new bridge now binding the two sides even closer, the politicians say keeping those conversations moving is critical.
Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
We will have more on the trade a little later on in the show. Now, as previously mentioned, a Windsor man was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Daniel Squalls was shot at 15 times by Malik Kalu. During his trial this past spring, Malik Kalu said he thought Daniel Squalls was armed when the men interacted that fateful day. He admitted in court to firing his illegal handgun 15 times in Squalls' direction. Squall was shot 6 times. Squalls was only 24 years old when he was killed on November 28th in 2022 on Hannah Street at Parent. Kalu, now 30 years old, was convicted of manslaughter this past April by a Windsor jury. They found him not guilty of second-degree murder, believing that Kalu was provoked to act when he thought he'd never see his child ever again. The judge said today, quote, he did have lawful alternatives he could have pursued. He chose to arm himself with an illegal firearm. However, she gave Kalu credit for being a remorseful, first-time youthful offender with high prospects for rehabilitation, who has had to live in jail conditions the court describes as harsh after Kalu was threatened and attacked allegedly in revenge for killing Squalls. For those reasons, the judge sentenced him to a total punishment of 9 years, but he's been in jail since July of 2023, so Malik Kalu has 4 years and 6 months left to serve in prison. In other news, a 51-year-old Windsor man is facing charges after police say he waved what appeared to be a rifle in a residential neighborhood. Officials and officers were called to the 1700 block of Cadillac Street on Monday night after reports of a man screaming, throwing items onto his lawn, and waving the weapon as children were nearby. Police say the man was arrested without incident. An air rifle was seized, and investigators say it closely resembled a real firearm. The man is charged with carrying a weapon with the intent to threaten public peace. 2 people have been arrested after a dog was stolen during an armed robbery in Windsor. A man told officers 2 people approached him while he was walking his dog in the 1600 block of Olette shortly before 6:30 Tuesday evening. Police say the victim refused to give them his dog, so pepper spray was used and the dog was forcibly taken. The victim suffered a leg injury during the struggle. Officers located and arrested both suspects on Curry Avenue less than 2 hours later. The dog was recovered and returned safely to its owner. Another warning from the local health unit. The West Nile virus is circulating in our community. The Windsor-Essex County Health Unit asking the public to take precautions while outdoors after a dead crow found in the city of Windsor tested positive for the West Nile virus. This follows the recent detection of a second West Nile virus positive mosquito pool in our region. So far, no human cases of the virus have been identified in our area. Health officials reminding residents to protect themselves against mosquito bites, using insect repellents that contain DEET, wearing long sleeve shirts, long pants and a hat when outdoors, and limiting outdoor activities at dawn and dusk. More than $11 million in new provincial funding is coming to Windsor's 2 hospitals to help improve patient care and reduce wait times. Windsor Regional Hospital is receiving more than $8.9 million, while Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare will get more than $2.1 million as part of a province-wide funding boost. Windsor-Tecumseh MPP Andrew Dowie says the money is in addition to regular annual increases and will allow hospitals to focus on local priorities. At Windsor Regional Hospital, the funding will support services including diagnostic imaging, surgeries, MRI, CT, cardiac and stroke care. And at Hotel Dieu, the investment will help strengthen palliative care, rehabilitation, and mental health and addiction recovery programs. For the first time since March, drivers in LaSalle have all 4 lanes of front row back. Construction barrels were removed Tuesday afternoon, reopening the stretch between Boismere Avenue and Ream Road as crews wrap up the latest phase of the town's $7.9 million front row storm sewer reconstruction project. Mayor Crystal Meloche says the lane closures lasted a little longer than expected, with crews finishing sidewalks and landscaping before reopening the road. The project now moves into its next phase. Work will be underway on new pumping stations at G. Craig Park and near the Riverdance building on Adams Lane. Meloche tells AM 800 News the system is not fully operational just yet, but crews are making progress.
I know people would expect that once they see all those barrels go away, that means it's all done, but it's not. There's the next phase of the project. So hopefully everyone can bear with us and realize that this is going to take some time to have the whole system up and going, but we're moving in the right direction.
The project includes new stormwater pipes, catch basins, and storm chambers designed to help reduce flooding risks. A new screening program in Windsor-Essex is helping identify people at risk for type 1 diabetes before they become seriously ill. Windsor-Essex Community Health Centre is the first community-based provider in Canada to take screening out of the hospital. The finger prick test takes only a few minutes, and the results are available in about 10 days. The screening is available for people between the ages of 1 and 65 who have certain risk factors, including a family history of type 1 diabetes or an autoimmune condition. Since the program launched last September, 420 people have been screened. 9 were identified before the disease started to show, and more than 30 adults previously diagnosed with type 2 diabetes were found to actually have type 1 diabetes. The community tonight is remembering a fixture in the Windsor music scene for more than 4 decades. That's the founder of Big Louie and the band. In a statement on social media, the group writes, "We are heartbroken to share news that our dear friend and founder, Big Louie Zanotti, has passed away after a courageous 4-year battle with cancer." The band has performed at countless weddings, corporate events, and fundraising galas across Windsor-Essex. Mother and son duo Amin and Soraya have jumped into the front of the pack after last night's episode of The Amazing Race Canada. From finding the perfect plants to learning the right moves and piecing together broken dishes, the Windsor reps finished second in this leg of the race. Catch up on the latest episode of The Amazing Race Canada, now on Crave. And we now know who will headline this year's Hogs for Hospice concert on Saturday night. Organizers announcing today that rock band Live will take the stage on August 1st after Bret Michaels was forced to step away due to an unforeseen medical emergency. Live is known for some of the biggest rock hits of the 90s and 2000s, including Lightning Crashes, I Alone, and All Over You. The band has sold more than 23 million albums worldwide and will now headline the festival's Saturday night concert. And Windsor is getting a taste of World Junior quality hockey. The WFCU Center is playing host to the World Junior Summer Showcase this week. The friendly matches are an opportunity for players to crack the final roster ahead of the holiday tournament in Edmonton later this year. Canada playing Sweden tonight with games against Finland and the USA later this week. Games bring some of the sport's best prospects here in Windsor. And for Windsor's hockey diehards, the action feels like Christmas in July.
They're going to dominate. It's really fun, and I'm happy to be here.
I thought it was great. I was very excited when Canada scored.
They have a really good goalie, really good players, but I think most of all, they're really kind people.
I love it because that's my favorite tournament to watch. You know, these guys are trying to get to the NHL, and they're still going for it, so it's great hockey.
CTV weather specialist Lauren Stallone has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And diplomacy on the baseball diamond still ahead, embracing the long-standing friendship during trade tensions. Lauren joins us now for her exclusive look at the forecast. Lauren.
Well, Stephanie, it was a beautiful day out there today. It really doesn't get much better than this. Our high today, 26. That's just around normal for this time of year. Now, we saw really stable, dry, sunny conditions throughout the day today. That's because we're seeing this area of high pressure that's going to make its way through the region, again, bringing with it lots of sunshine tomorrow into your Friday. So conditions looking really great for tomorrow. We can see off to the east, they're dealing with some active weather, but over here in our region, it is pretty clear. Now, overnight tonight, temperatures dropping down to comfortable. If you like to sleep with the windows open, it's a great night to do that for anyone across the region. 17 degrees overnight tonight. We're seeing clear conditions right now with a bit of cloud coverage over the next 36 hours. Those conditions will remain and lots of sunshine in the forecast. So if you're heading out tomorrow, really any time is a good time. Lots of sunshine in the forecast throughout the day, and we'll see temperatures start to warm up to, again, just around normal for this time of year. 23 around 5 p.m. on your way home from work tomorrow. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, those sunny conditions, area of high pressure, again, sticking around into your Friday. The next chance of rainfall and cloud coverage returns this weekend over here for the long weekend. So if you have some plans to get outside or do a barbecue, keep that in mind because there is a chance of showers. That's because of a low pressure system that's really taking its time to move through. Our next chance for some sunshine, or sunshine rather, will return early next week. Temperatures heating up, feeling really comfortable for this time of year. We're not going to see those strong heats that we saw a couple weeks ago, but again, really comfortable if you're planning to get outside. So Stefanie, tonight, tomorrow and Friday looks great, and then keep in mind that there will be some active weather this weekend. Back to you.
Wildfire officials in British Columbia say the situation is intensifying near the community of Clinton. Fires have forced broad evacuation efforts, and there are now concerns over severe storms in the forecast, and a yellow thunderstorm alert is in effect. Much of that province is also still dealing with smoke-related air quality issues. Here in Ontario, the latest provincial update states 11 new wildland fires were confirmed in the north northwestern region yesterday. That brought the total number to 122, with 35 located in the northeast and no new fires confirmed there yesterday. In other news, the U.S. president is insisting his country would be better off with a North American trade agreement, prompting one Canadian premier to raise the idea of using energy as leverage. With more on how those potential bargaining chips might play out, here's CTV's Abigail Beeman.
New Brunswick supplies nearly half of Maine's electricity. The premier says she may use her province's power in negotiations if it would stave off new tariffs.
Have to be very strategic about how we use the leverage that we have. But I think one of my colleagues around the table used the quote, you need to walk softly and carry a big stick.
Ontario tried that last year and backed down within 24 hours.
We had a problem with Ontario and they dropped that.
The idea raised too by federal Conservatives at an emergency meeting to discuss another thorny topic, the Gordie Howe Bridge.
Canada has leverage. We have energy. We have critical minerals. We have steel, aluminum, autos, manufacturing. American factories depend on Canadian supply chains. American workers depend on this relationship too. So let's use it.
The Prime Minister said Canada has lots of options and the focus is working towards a deal.
So when you're supplier of a key commodity, key service, you got to think really hard about not supplying. I don't see the value of doing. I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
Mark Carney also asked what Canada is getting in return for concessions, including the Gordie Howe Bridge. And in this court filing, news the government is going to drop the base contribution requirement for American streaming services to pay for Canadian content. The government will pay up instead. Carney said it's about affordability.
Most Canadians have one or two or so of these streamers, and it's real money. This stuff adds up, and there's a better way to do it. We took the judgment there was a better way to do it.
This is nothing short of changing political direction based on the broader context of the trade war.
On the question of concessions, the Prime Minister focused on the fact the Gordie Howe Bridge is now open. He said Canada is in a strong position and working on a more stable relationship with the United States, but he didn't directly answer the question. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
New data is shedding light on the economic impact from increasingly frequent and complex cyber attacks in Canada. With more on the sectors hit hardest, here's Scott Hurst.
As technology continues to have a bigger impact in our daily lives and nearly everything these days seems to be interconnected, it can come at a cost. The average cost of a data breach in Canada has reached a record $7.11 million. The attacks are becoming larger and longer lasting, and the energy sector reported the highest average cost per breach. According to new numbers from tech giant IBM, the average breach is exposing roughly 28,500 records. That's up 8% from last year, and it took more than 200 days on average to detect and contain the impact. With so many services now interconnected, the fallout can be far and wide, all the way down to disruptions felt by us, the consumer. Energy organizations reported the highest average costs at more than $9.2 million per incident. It highlights the growing financial impact these cyber attacks can have on critical infrastructure. AI also playing a major role. It is both helping and hurting. Organizations that deployed AI in their security operations reported the cost of an average breach to be much lower and contain the impacts significantly faster. However, globally, there's been a more than 50% increase in AI-driven attacks, showing just how quickly attackers are adopting the latest technologies. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
In Toronto, the TSX lost 416 points. In New York, the Dow plunged 1,100 and the Nasdaq dropped 434. The Canadian dollar gained 1/10 of a cent. Gold lost $1.60 an ounce and oil added $5.20 a barrel. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. If you're thinking of flying WestJet this Sunday, keep an eye out for a possible work stoppage. The airline and union representing flight attendants have a wind-down plan ready to go with a labor disruption in the wings. Here's CTV's Kathy Lee.
As the possibility of a strike looms, so does the uncertainty for thousands of WestJet passengers, including Lily Ahonen, who has an important trip on August 4th.
My daughter has an appointment for a student visa at an embassy in Vancouver. We have to go.
Not willing to take the chance, she took WestJet's offer to cancel and rebooked with a different airline at her own expense.
It's not really a cancellation where we get a refund in cash. I've paid double now.
As passengers scramble to figure out their travel plans, WestJet and the union representing about 4,400 flight attendants have agreed to a wind-down plan should a strike begin as early as Sunday. The agreement outlines how planes would be grounded and how cabin crew would be returned home in the event of a work stoppage.
The goal is to try and get as many of both our cabin crew members, but also as many of our guests back as possible prior to a strike deadline.
Flight attendants voted 99% in favor of a strike mandate earlier this month, as the two sides remain at odds over wages, unpaid work, and working conditions, similar to why Air Canada flight attendants went on strike last year for 3 days. In a statement to CTV News, WestJet says we are optimistic we can arrive at an agreement. If a strike happens, about 75,000 passengers per day could be impacted. This air passenger rights advocate says if people can, wait for WestJet to cancel a flight before making other plans.
If they fail to provide alternate transportation as prescribed by the law, then I would just buy myself a ticket on a different airline and make WestJet pay for it.
For Ahonen, waiting isn't an option. And while the situation has been stressful, she supports the flight attendants.
I 100% believe they do deserve to have fair pay for their work.
Unless a deal is reached, some flights could start to be grounded by Friday. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Meantime, an unsatisfied WestJet passenger was scammed after posting a negative review online. CTV's Pat Foran on what to watch out for in the comments section.
I was not happy. I was really upset.
Tracy Healy of Toronto was visiting British Columbia in March and had a great trip. But when she was to fly home in April, she missed her first flight. She did make it to Vancouver Airport for her connecting flight, but was not allowed to board.
So I'm sitting at the airport and I'm panicking because I need to get back home to Toronto and I have work the next day.
Healy decided to vent her frustration by contacting WestJet through social media.
I log on to Facebook and then I found the WestJet customer service Facebook group.
She says almost immediately she got messages from people claiming to be WestJet employees who wanted to help.
We want to make this right for you. We're going to give you a refund and we're going to pay for your flight home.
Healy says she was asked for her credit card and banking information so they could give her a $3,000 refund. But instead, the money was taken out of her account.
I got scammed $3,000 from somebody claiming to be a WestJet customer service rep in Kenya.
When CTV News reached out to WestJet, a spokesperson said WestJet will never request payment or sensitive personal information through unofficial channels such as unsolicited WhatsApp messages, calls, or non-verified social media accounts.
Criminals will monitor the comment section of so many recognizable brands.
Cybersecurity experts say you should avoid posting comments online and not interact with companies through social media platforms. Only deal with them through regular channels.
Reach out to us through our published phone number and we will help you. Nothing else should be trusted.
Healy says she should have noticed some red flags, but says she was frazzled and frustrated being stuck in an airport.
I can't believe I fell for this. He caught me at a moment when I was primed for the picking.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Warren joins us one final time for a look at the weather.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. There will be some fog in the forecast tonight and early tomorrow morning, so I want everyone to keep that in mind if you're heading out early tomorrow to head to work. But the sunshine will return tomorrow into your Friday because of that high pressure that we're seeing move through. Our next chance for rainfall will return over the weekend, so keep that in mind for your long weekend plans. 40% chance on Saturday and Sunday, but the sunshine will return early next week with comfortable temperatures in the forecast. Stephanie?
Finally tonight, the Toronto Blue Jays have been in Washington, D.C. this week, taking on the Nationals. As CTV's Joy Malvin reports, team officials saw this as an opportunity to embrace the long-standing friendship between our two nations.
In spite of trade tensions, that delayed Gordie Howe Bridge and threats of the 51st state, there is one thing Canadians and Americans can agree on, and that's baseball. Throwing out the first pitch, Canada's new U.S. ambassador thrust into the thick of things. The embassy promoting this cross-border matchup between the Blue Jays and Washington Nationals as a goodwill friendship game.
It's a big week for the Canadian government down here, negotiating with their counterparts. So we sometimes have to look beyond some of the headlines and see that we've been at this together for a long time.
Canada's top trade minister on the field. You could call this baseball diplomacy, a celebration of two nations who share a love of the game.
Relations are a little strained right now between Canada and the U.S., and so we need events like this just to get together on a human, personal level.
Fans scooped up an exclusive Canada-U.S. friendship hat with a nod to the Nationals' Montreal Expos connection, meaningful to fans like the Halperns, keeping the spirit alive.
I think baseball transverses all borders and keeps us all friends, so that's why we're here.
I blame a lot of it, honestly, on Trump trying to hold power, but also on a lot of people for completely forgetting how much we both rely on each other as countries. I mean, we're neighbors and we rely on each other for so much.
Neighbors who are having a tough time of it. Who do you blame?
Trump. The administration. It's just crazy right now. So it's hard to be here in the States right now and dealing with this tension.
Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
We truly have a special relationship. Okay, that's your news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. See you right back here tomorrow night.